make the call.
Momento, carissimo.
No.
Eventuale.
No Italian.
Ehi, per cominciare, 2 insalate verde con peperoni
No.
e un linguini primavera.
No.
Un cotteletto di
Make the
vitello.
call, Otto.
Whooped your hide real good.
This is Film Sack. Oh, man. Oh, sure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind, and this is episode 697. Dangerously close to 700 here. Ooh, man, I can taste it. Hey, everybody, I'm Scott Johnson. I'm joined today by Brian. Oh, Archie, it's so not hot watching you make out with Jamie Lee Curtis Dunaway.
Agree to disagree. Oh, hi. This week on Film Sack, we gobble up an aquarium's worth of a fish called Wanda. Gross. Like some kind of stupid American jealous lover brother. Don't call me stupid. Now, stuffing Brit chips up Amazon Prime's uptight stuffy nose holes. To get to the bottom of this double-crossing 1988 holy grail of animal cruelty crime drama comedy that very nearly shows us John Cleese's full Monty Python. Anywho. How about some uncomfortable tit talk in a large American car driving down the wrong side of the road to John Cleese's house? You may ask, does he get to handle them? Yes, he does. What's that? Tit nuzzling? Yes. That is what these things are made for, right? Sucking? Oh, boy. Randy, what was the middle thing again? Jamie Lee Curtis and a mustache? Kinky.
Oh, my Lord.
Kinky.
Nicely done. Also with us, Randy. Hey, he always holds a photo of his wife over his crotch when he's naked. Jordan.
Aloha, Scott. Brian, welcome to the airport, where we're here to help you leave the country quickly and easily, unless you're a bumbling criminal who couldn't kill an old lady with a rifle and sights on your side. At the ticket counter, as you know, you can just acquire tickets on flights that are always leaving for your desired destination in about 30 minutes, and the entire transaction takes maybe 10 seconds. Bon voyage. Don't forget, don't worry about security. Don't worry about anything, as long as you follow my 3 criminal escape the country rules. Number 1, all airports have open containers of oil and big patches of wet cement in active taxiways right next to planes. So, you should make use of that. Number 2, when fighting with a man who wants to kill you, feel free to put his gun down on the floor in the same room as him. That'll work out just fine. Number 3, try not to think about your daughter you're just abandoning. Rather, think about that hot piece of ass you met 4 days ago who starts orgasming when you speak Italian. That's the dream.
Oh, man, when you say it this way, this movie's pretty weird. All right.
It is, totally.
With us finally, Brian, this movie gave him a new Cleese on life, Ibit.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Portia was horrible. He's fine. Just leaving Portia and the wife.
Yeah.
They're both problems.
They were both bad.
All right, for the song this week, I'll tell you my other choice after we listen to this one, because it was really a Sophie's choice for me. But I'd never done a Guns N' Roses song before, and I still haven't. This is Poison. I'm gonna play the song.
Sweet, here we go. That's a great callback, by the way. Nice work on that. All right, here we go.
Too much hassle.
Oh, nice touch at the end.
Had to include it.
Oh, that's great. That's freaking great. How do you make it sound like there's like 5 of you, or
by recording it, by doing what's called a double recording. If you listen to the original and you listen closely, you'll hear Vince Neil's singing, and Vince Neil
Harmonize with yourself, right? That's the idea.
Not just harmonize, but singing the same notes, over each other,
layering.
And then right. The third one is harmonization. So I've got, this one had 3 layers. For a minute, it had 4 layers of vocals, and it just wasn't sounding good, because there's a second harmony, and I'm like, this is enough.
Yeah.
Just want to point out, Vince Neil was Motley Crue, Bret Michaels was Poison.
That's what Bret Michaels. I suck with Poison. Apparently,
They are not different people.
I confused
Poison.
them with Guns N' Roses. I confused the lead singer with Motley Crue.
The only
And
thing,
you know what?
Yeah. Yeah. They're all in the same
only
bucket.
way
of
I can
cheese.
keep
That's
them separate
fine.
in my brain is to remember that the word Brett is shorter than the word Vince. Therefore, Vince is the fat one.
Okay. Okay.
Vince
That's the only
is
thing I
he's
can
very much the fat one right now. He's look,
Yeah,
no offense,
yeah.
but Vince Neil, if you see him, he's not the sexy lace wearing cool dude from the 80s you remember. He ain't smoking in no boys' room now. He's smoking in the old men's freaking sauna room. Anyway, well
the
done.
other, by the way, I told you I was going to tell you the other song. By the way, the other one I was wrestling with. I'm Just Ken from the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Started on that route and worked on both of them simultaneously, and thought, nope, this one leads a lot more. It's got a lot more comedy potential. I'm Just Ken is funny for the initial laugh, but then this one.
And
all the Russian
were you
shit in
were
it.
you messing around with having him stutter in the song?
Yes, and I felt really that really was the final nail in the coffin. Was like, I can't do it.
That's hard, right?
Oh, come on.
I got a great story. I got a great story about that. Michael Palin did a thing. We'll get to it. It's in the trivia. But it's kind of
I know
kind of
what you're going to talk about, and it's super cool.
yeah, kind of a nice end to that weirdness. All right, well, we're going to talk about A Fish Called Wanda. It's rare we do comedies here. This one is a rarefied one. We'll see how we ended up feeling about it. But before we do any of that, Fake Fletcher swings in with yet another horrible reading of the summary of this film.
On this week's film sack, A Fish Called Wanda. In London, four very different people team up on a jewel heist, then try to double-cross one another for the loot, complicated by their efforts to fool the very proper barrister, Archibald Leach. How does it all hold up?
I don't know what's going on there.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm no longer worried about AI. I feel like
We're safe.
Society,
We're
I
safe.
think we're going to be just fine.
I think it'll all work out in the end. It'll all be okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel good now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yesterday, a friend of mine posted an image on Facebook that was purported to show a crowd doing something political, and he was outraged. And I just looked at the image, and I was outraged because the image was nightmare fuel. The people in this crowd were all, their faces were blended together, and there was all sorts of like crazy, like arms coming out of nothing, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And
my favorite.
I was just like, how did my buddy not look at this? Like, how did he not see any closely at all?
Well, one of the hallmarks of bad AI art generation is that it's so easy that no one's really paying attention to the details. They're just pooping it out and saying, there it is, check it out. And on Facebook, half the time they're passing it off as something real, like, here's a guy who's 108 years old. Wish him a happy birthday. And it looks like the Mummy, like, what are you doing?
Right.
So dumb.
Right.
Anyway, the movie is A Fish Called Wanda. We're going to talk about it. Directed by Charles Crichton and John Cleese, although John Cleese claims pretty adamantly that he really had very little to do with directing. The studio felt like if his name was on top of everything whenever possible, that would be a better sell, because this was already a hard sell for them. And MGM kind of demanded it. But he's always gone sort of very quickly on the record and said, if you think this was well made, the credit really is Charles's credit. And he loved working with him and all that other stuff. This is his last movie, too, that guy made before he passed away about 10 years later.
Oh, really?
Crichton guy, yeah. So that other one, that Fierce Creatures, not him. It's totally different dude.
Which might have been part of the problem. Who knows?
Yeah, if you look at this Crichton guy's IMDb, he's got a bunch of amazing British stuff. He's clearly been in it for a while, collaborated with Cleese and, comedians for a long time. Like, he had the touch for the comedic bits. I think there's things about this movie, though, we'll get into it, that don't hold up. And I don't just mean like the blatant disregard for people with a stutter or anything like that. I mean, like, there's like when this thing is being Monty Python / Fawlty Towers, it's at its best. Having Palin having his B story of trying to assassinate that old lady, great, freaking
Yes.
wonderful.
I love his story. Ken's story.
And he just keeps killing dogs. He just can't
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
killing
one at a
dogs.
time.
Yeah,
I
and
like the
it's-
fact that we have where it's going to be one at a time. We know how long it's going to take. It's
Yeah.
gonna take
And it's draining his soul away.
Yeah.
That's the,
Yeah.
like Michael Palin is the one who should have gotten nominated for an Oscar for this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, because he's an animal lover, and you got to you if you're not paying attention at the beginning of the movie, you don't set it up that he's such an animal lover. You really miss out on a lot
yeah,
because the fact that he is it's just killing him and it's destroying him.
yeah.
Every little bit just stripping away.
Yeah.
Palin did get a BAFTA supporting
Oh,
role, supporting actor role for this one. So.
Oh, that's good. And what's weird about it is that Kevin Kline wins this Oscar for Best Supporting, but in no other award season award, Globes, BAFTAs, anything else, he got no nominations for anything.
He did get a BAFTA nomination for Best Actor in a Leading Role. It's funny. He and John Cleese were up against each other for the BAFTA of Best Leading Actor.
Oh, interesting.
And John Cleese won. Yeah.
Interesting. So I guess it was a no win other than this one, which is rare, right? You usually have some other
It is rare. Yeah.
win or multiple nominations in other categories or something. But I still think he's amazing in this. I think Kevin
He's
Kline's
fantastic.
revelatorily good in this. But
There's so much in his character, the character of Otto, that feels like this was probably not written. This was definitely improvised. The flourish of how he does everything, and the smelling his armpits before doing anything major, and even just the way going through a metal detector, he flips his gun and catches it, but even does that with like again flourish and that sort of thing.
Yeah. It's pretty.
These have got to be Kevin Kline-isms as opposed to how it was written.
Yeah, and also a thing you wouldn't have guessed. I mean, up to this point, he's been kind of quiet in his roles. Like Silverado was not a bombastic role for him. John Cleese in that as well. I don't know if that's where they met. I couldn't find anything that said if that's maybe where they hooked up. But
maybe.
Kevin Kline cruised in my favorites because of this performance for a really long time. It's like, Kevin Kline, he can do no wrong.
Yeah.
I'll just let him
yeah, he's really great in it. And everybody, like, it is this chance, this weird movie. Like, this is the memory I have of it because it comes out in '88. Me and my friends are all very excited about this movie because we're big Monty Python fans. We love John Cleese. We love Fawlty Towers. And he basically is playing kind of a form of Basil Fawlty without the anger. He's more like
he's playing his John Cleese comedic character.
Yeah.
Like that Basil Fawlty is that many things he did in different Monty Python sketches are just his default.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stray from that.
It turns out that
his
default is really awesome and it's funny and it works. Like when he comes into a room with wine, he thinks it's Jamie Lee Curtis on the couch. The wife turns around and the way he screams, nobody does it like that. Like, or did. He doesn't really do that stuff anymore. It's unfortunate because, he's in his late 80s, but like there's really nobody, there's nobody like that dude in British comedy. And it felt like this was such a weird mix or mishmash of here are all the Britishisms and here are these Americanisms. And then here's two actors in Kevin Kline and Jamie Lee Curtis you're not used to in a comedic role at all from either of those two. And also here's Jamie Lee Curtis showing range, like real range, not just, hey, she's the pretty girl from the 3 movies we all saw her half naked in or whatever. She's really got the chops, clearly. Like
half naked.
That's why I think, I think that's why this movie struck such a chord at the time is it was just this perfect storm of all of those elements. And a lot of that stuff really holds up. And then there's some shit like sound design, music.
The music. Yeah. The music kind of takes you out of it because it feels very moonlighting ABC movie of the week kind of stuff. It's
and then there are all sorts of jokes that get carried so far that they no longer are funny. And that's the way it used to be. Like when you talk about did this hold up? It's a different time. This is how you made comedies for Monty Python, and nowadays you wouldn't repeat the same joke more than 5 times. You wouldn't.
Running jokes are just running.
Yeah.
Well, what's an example like in this one that you feel like
repeat the middle thing?
Always Kevin Kline outside a window.
Oh, see, I didn't mind that. I didn't yelling asshole. Car stuff. I didn't have a problem with any of that.
He's so good at yelling asshole that it's hard. I forgive it because he's so good at it. They're iconic. Like we got more than one comment from people out there saying, my memory of this as a kid was him yelling asshole and how funny I thought it was and how mad my mom was. Like, it really sticks with people. So I think he gets away with that, but it is a little repetitive for sure.
In the car, I still say asshole that way if I'm talking about another driver. It is ingrained in me from this movie. Asshole!
Yeah. I think the thing that holds up least for me is the concept that they are somehow leaving together and this is going to work out. There's no way. She's not trustworthy. Yeah. He's barely, I don't know what he is at this point, but he suddenly becomes, a mastermind at the end. And she's not trustworthy. You can't. If she's just as quick gonna dump you as she was everybody else, like, what's the point?
Right. I mean, they explained away by her, there's a point right at the end where she could choose to just leave, but she tries to get in touch with Archie's character on the phone. So as the audience, we go like, okay, she's being genuine here because this is nothing but, double cross all the way through. And so it's hard for the audience to believe anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, when she spends almost an entire, like one entire section of a day kissing every male actor in this film.
Yeah.
And really kissing him too. Like
really kissing him. Yeah, I know. This is man. You're seeing tongue going into Michael Palin and Tina comment on that. Like, wow, this is she's really going all out. But I think at the end you do feel like there is a character growth for Jamie for her specifically, that she, she's got the money and don't worry about that. She does have it, but she, but you feel like she's kind of ready to settle down, I think. Well, she finally found her, Russian speaking, Italian speaking. Right, exactly. Now she's got a guy who speaks multiple languages, and she can squirm around on a handrail until the cows come home.
Such a weird conceit.
It really, that's probably a thing that I feel was an unnecessary joke. Didn't need to be in there.
Kept going back to it. Like at first it makes sense of like, oh, her and Otto, because he says a bunch of Italian words that are nonsense. That's enough for her.
He reads the menu at Olive Garden, basically.
Yeah. And that's like, okay, that's the joke. We get it. And then maybe that would have been the only time to do it.
Or maybe have it in there, just maybe not have it as out of control. Because boy, if they're going to go to another country, she's going to turn on the news and wreck her pants. Is what she's gonna
wreck her pants.
I love it. Oh my gosh. You heard it here first. Wreck her pants.
Wreck her pants.
Yeah, yes, very nice. I'll get this out of the way because I think it's interesting. So Michael Palin's father stuttered. So a lot of this stuff, a lot of him doing that was based on what he, heard from his dad. And it's we go on later and find out that he founded. So he got a lot of criticism for this role. People were like, "Man, it's not cool. Don't make fun of whatever." And I actually think it's more subtle than that. I think you can be mad at Otto's character for being so mean about it. I don't think it was done just because, a stutter is funny. There are edges they get to, but I think you're doing a character who has a stutter. There can be some development there without you being super insensitive or having it be a one-note joke. But people still were bugged by it. So he founds this. He felt bad, so he founds this thing called the London Center for Stammering Children, which is literally like this, awesome organization that helps kids with their stutters and brings them in, teaches them how to get rid of it or whatever. That's pretty cool, right?
It's really cool.
Like
it's totally,
it is.
He didn't have to do that.
Everybody who gets canceled for something these days turned around and did something like this.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And Palin didn't get canceled or anything for this. Like, there were people like, that might have been poor taste, dude, or whatever.
Sure.
But we'd probably forgive some of the, not forgive. We certainly wouldn't forget, but we might be willing to forgive some of the more, the lesser horrible things that people have done, bad tweets or something like that, if they turned around and did something like this.
Yeah. It's weird though that it's not always so even. Like right around the same time Steve Martin does his Ruprecht thing in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I don't remember any heat on him for portraying
because it's such, I think because that was such a over the top character.
It's outlandish.
Like it was making fun of some
nondescript.
Yes, right. Some affliction in particular. It is like he is a could be just any kind of bumbling idiot kind of thing that we've seen in comedies forever, and not attributed to.
I guess, and you're right, but I guess my point is that we're sometimes we cherry pick as a society.
Totally.
I don't mean us in the paneling.
Nobody had any problem with Bachman Turner Overdrive, and you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, I never heard anyone complain about that. Good point.
And we also cherry pick based on the person, right? Like we are more forgiving toward Michael Palin than toward John Cleese for some reason, or at least John Cleese thinks we are. Mm-hmm. John Cleese, has spent the last 15 years arguing with people, and telling them that he's not going to answer questions like, would you go back and change this or that? And it was just, for some reason, we give him a lot more agency in the past than we do.
People would be complaining to him about him creating a character that stammers for this movie, or what
not
would
just
be the
this movie, but
against?
like just stuff in general. Like he's been
just stuff in Monty Python.
I think he just likes being crotchety and pissy, and people take it whatever way they want to take it. He seems to be a pretty equal opportunity offender. He's mad at government, Brexit, U.S. politics, but at the same time he says stuff that's like, wait a minute, who are, like, if anything, I kind of like that it's consistent. Like he cares
a lot about the sanctity of history, and he wants you to leave things in the past. Mm-hmm. And it's very, very important to him. Like if you're questioning something that's happening right now, cool. If you're questioning something that he did 30, 50 years ago, he will not have it.
Yeah,
it's just that was fine at the time. Therefore, it is not to be questioned.
Yeah,
and that's an understandable position. For
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I don't think. I mean, I think maybe he gets a little combative about it, but it kind of doesn't matter what he does. If he was just dismissive and moved on, people would be mad that he was dismissive. If he talks about it at all, they get mad. Like that's just where we are.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter. But I think John Cleese can be whatever he is now, and it's fine. Mm-hmm. Do whatever. I miss that energetic, comedic physicality he used to have. Obviously he's aged and he can't do that stuff like he used to be able to do. But he's kind of buff in this. He's a little bit ripped. He had
to do almost the full Monty scene, so I'm sure he probably exercised a little bit.
Right, hit the gym the week before filming.
The year before.
Yeah.
At his age, the year that guy was working out. I was blown away when he takes his shirt off, and you're like, where did he get those freaking traps?
Yeah,
his shoulders were enormous.
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know if he's just always been sort of built that way, and then he worked out to get there. I mean, he's what, late 40s, early 50s here. Something like that. I don't know what he'd have been. I'd have to do the math, but it's something like that. And I was impressed. I was like, oh, man. Because we've seen him in various states of undress. Like in The Meaning of Life, he's teaching that sex class. Remember that whole scene?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He's naked for that, and he doesn't look as good there. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but he was in some serious shape.
You're gonna be. Well, that was one of the things I kept wondering about. I'm like, oh, he was a director on this. I was like, how much did he have to do with this? Because how much did he ask for screen rewrites? And it's like, hey,
he said very little. He claimed very little.
I need to do some stuff with naked Jamie Lee Curtis. What do you think? I think it's a good idea. But
I mean, he never.
That wasn't.
He never did get. He never did seem to get the. His comeuppance during any of that.
But it's never a surprise when the person who writes the film casts themselves in the role that they get to have the most fun. I'm just saying the most fun.
Yeah,
the most fun.
That's not a surprise at all.
Yeah,
it's just thinking about 80s movies, like 80s comedies. It's really, this movie is on a spectrum, right? And we're like, on one end of the spectrum are these totally fine, safe things like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or I don't know what else. On the other end are movies that just basically got canceled along the way. They fell off a cliff at some point, and we're like, Revenge of the Nerds is not acceptable,
Yeah.
And this movie is definitely on that spectrum. It's not near the ends, but it's got some things where, like, if this was being made nowadays, you would definitely have some changes.
You'd tweak it. You definitely would. Yeah. I don't think.
With that being said, I still watch Revenge of the Nerds in my house. Is just to say,
you're a fan. You like I mean, I know that when you say that, you're not implying that you like.
Porkies, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Who knows what might show up on the VCR and the TV and.
Yeah, you got a bunch of CRTs that have a mind of their own. They're just going to play what they're going to play.
Right.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
It's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault that there's a burn-in of a boobie or whatever you do. There.
Yeah.
So that fish Kevin Kline ate, all of them.
Yeah.
Which one? Oh my God! I was like,
They were
I couldn't even
made-
believe
They were made of Jello. They weren't real.
Oh.
You can tell by the way he was. His hands were moving way too much to really sell it as
Yeah.
being a
It's
real
alive.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. I mean, I think it was still pretty effective. And Klein claims in a recent interview even that he was offered to eat, or that he offered to be live fish eaten. He said, "Look, I'll sell the scene by eating real fish. I don't mind." Filmmakers wouldn't let him do it. They were like,
I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because oh my God, we would never hear the end. Because
Peter.
also,
You would have had an
not
issue with that.
Yeah.
not to mention how many fish he ate. I mean, if you ate the character Otto, I was just like, if you ate a whole aquarium full of fish,
I counted.
Oh my God,
I counted.
you
There
would
were
be so
shots.
sick.
There were pull away shots of that aquarium where I counted 17 fish.
Yay.
God, you would be swimming. Oh,
Yeah.
geez,
But
you'd be
don't
so
eat the green ones. They're
No,
not right.
no, they're not right.
It's a perfectly good joke. It's just
Yeah.
it really kind of taints the character. Like everything, him being he's always creeping on his so-called sister. Like there's a lot of ways this character is unsavory, but for some reason, for me, him eating the whole tank full of fish is just like it's a bridge too far.
Yeah, it's really gross.
That was the poke at the audience. With all these through Ken's character and us being up. Not only Ken being upset, same way. We're not really that upset when the old lady dies, but kill a dog, boo on you.
True. Yeah.
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 So when Otto was like, he was slimy, but so is everybody else. How do you take him to one level slimier? Have him eat the fish called Wanda. The title of the movie. He eats
titular
a
fish.
Yeah, titular
yeah.
fish. In fact, she has no. I mean, that's what she thought of in the moment when he asked her name, and she says Wanda. It's because she heard Ken talking about the fish, and it's like this fish is important. This fish, we are told early how important this fish is, so we know something shitty is going to happen to the fish. Little did we know it would be done with such uncomfortable comedic effect. Like it is really a hell of a scene still to this day. It's just like, and part of it is Michael Palin he's flashing faces I've never seen. Like my
Oh,
God,
he's doing
never
really
had to do
good.
this,
Looking suffered. Yeah,
level
it's
on
really
Monty
good.
Python. Yeah.
I love him. He's so great.
Yeah.
That guy. Did you watch his travel show when he was doing that? It was pretty fun.
Oh
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
very much.
Was that around? What was that called? It was like Michael Palin goes traveling or something.
Goes traveling. I love
tour.
I can't remember. Something around the world or around the world with Michael Palin or something like that.
Let's see. Looking at
Remember loving that. Thought it was really good. Kind of
He's
recent-ish.
done a lot of TV. Michael Palin, Travels of a Lifetime.
That's it. Yeah, that was great. Great little show if you can find it. I'm sure it's probably somewhere streaming.
Yeah.
It's not, don't go into it expecting his Monty
Comedy
Python stuff.
level of comedy.
Yeah, that stuff's very not what he did
Wait,
in
so you're
later
telling
life.
me you don't watch a travel show with a guy stuttering?
No, no. I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm out.
That is,
I'm out.
You're out. You're not into it. I get it. I get where you're at there.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite in jokes here. Jamie Lee Curtis was listed as Jamie Lee Schwartz on all the call sheets and the chairs and all that stuff because John Cleese thought it was funny that her dad, Tony Curtis, his real name is Bernard Schwartz. So he made sure to put Schwartz at the end of everything because he thought that was funny. I think that is the most like Monty Python bullshit.
That is
Yeah.
Cleese upside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that about him.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's really good. One other thing was, Brian, you mentioned all the kissing.
Yeah.
She kissed every major male character, all major American male characters. There was nobody who didn't have voice lines that she didn't make out with at least once. So,
Except for the guy who works in the room across from John Cleese.
Oh, right.
The other didn't,
Yeah,
she
and the
didn't make out with
judge.
him.
yeah.
The judge,
the
didn't
judge,
get
right.
kissed.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey,
Gotta love that guy.
He's so awesome.
Yes, Palmer. Jeffrey
Palmer, one of the greatest episode, season 2, episode 1 of Faulty Towers. He's the one that they find the dead guys, like the inspector. That is one of the funniest half hours of the world has ever seen. And I love Jeffrey Palmer. He's freaking fantastic. He's still around, I wonder. Let's see here.
Jeffrey Palmer died 2020.
93 in 2020. He lived a nice long time though. Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was in a Tomorrow Never Dies. Did we do that one?
Hold
no,
on.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, we have not sacked that one yet.
Oh.
No, I feel like that's one of the few Bond movies I feel like I only saw once in the theater and never went back to and watched again. So
Not sure.
I check our SAC James Bond project every week because it's like we are not going to continue until we can continue in order. So we're waiting on Diamonds Are Forever.
Gonna leapfrog over Diamonds Are Forever. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm always looking.
Well,
maybe we could justify it.
What an ironic title for us to be stuck on.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
That was Judi Dench's first appearance as M, I think. That one. Yeah, looks like. That was
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, that was a crossover for her from that on to
right. It was
Casino Royale. Wow.
Right.
That's awesome. Joe Don Baker, Ricky Jay. Oh my gosh. Terry Hatcher, Jonathan Pryce, the Pope. Jonathan Pryce, the Pope is in it. Holy shit. Michelle Yeoh. All right. We should probably watch that Bond movie. We will at one point.
But not till we get to Diamonds Are Forever.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And ever.
Was anybody else like a little bit lost in and I've seen this movie 12 times.
A million? Yeah, at least.
Was anybody else a little bit lost in the crime plot? Like it's not very clear what they like. Obviously, they've stolen a couple of diamonds. I don't know, maybe a couple of
worth around $3 million is the information we get.
Yeah,
right?
We're given very little about that. We don't know. Oh, was it 20?
Oh, she said. Oh, well, maybe she just meant her portion because she said for $3 million, I'd let him nuzzle my tits. Yeah.
Like,
thanks for going the full word.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, the full titties. Yeah.
I like that you worked on which word? Tits.
Right.
You can see the wheels turning. Basically.
Yeah. Which one can I say? Well, it's an R-rated movie. They know what they're in for.
Exactly.
Randy, go ahead with what you were saying. Sorry.
Just watching it this time, I was just a little bit lost, like on the details. Like I got the double cross and then the double cross. Like, of course, it's all kind of plain and demonstrated. But then, like, how do the diamonds end up at a hotel? I guess hotels have safety deposit boxes or something. Or there's a
was it a hotel?
Hotel by the airport.
It's just like, when did he have time to put it there? When like he got arrested at home pretty quickly. I just wanted more of the cloak and dagger, and the movie the movie's really insistent on its own jokes. Like, let's just get to the jokes.
That guy's great though because he's this archetype from British crime dramas of that era and older, like 70s crime dramas. Mustache, beady eyes, says things like "Well done, my son." Just kind of a weird ass freaking criminal guy, and he's not. It's not a giant role or anything, but it's enough. I appreciated the shtick of that dude.
But then it's a comedy and it's not a serious like criminal procedural when all of his co-conspirators show up at court together. Like what? Like crazy.
Various levels of disguise or non-disguise. Yeah.
And when Otto's standing right outside the court, yelling on the sidewalk to get everyone's attention, like what is happening?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. But I there's so much I loved. And then there's so much where I went in a 2025 way. I kind of just said it's a little farcy than I wanted to maybe admit because at the time it just wasn't. Farce seemed fine, and farce is fine. There's nothing wrong with farce in movies. Like the purity of farce, it can be fun and enjoyable, and in the right hands, there's nothing wrong with farcical comedy. But this has more farcity in it than I maybe remembered. And some of it doesn't hold up.
Far.
Her squirming all over ropes and rails and spitting all over the place. That's in the language thing, like all that stuff. That's maybe a little.
This movie hit my community of friends really hard. I mean, we watched this thing back to back. Well, I don't think we saw it at theater. I think we saw it the following year. We rented it and we just kept it on repeat
Yeah.
constantly.
Mhm.
Anytime you wanted to just, laugh, turn something on, this was the go-to.
Yeah. Same.
And,
It's very similar
Mhm.
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And we were
So
we
it
were,
definitely was bringing something.
we were big on theater because we were in high school and it was R, and my parents were weird and about that, and we were like, we're going. So me and my friend
But
Bill.
there was no real nudity though, right? It was an R, and
it was just
very-
R because of language and stuff. That was it.
Yeah, language and innuendos. It
Mhm.
was, saying this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and yeah,
Yeah, it was that kind of R.
irreverent.
Yeah, which partly I think
I mean-
Fierce Creatures may have suffered a bit from being PG-13 because they really pulled
Right.
back on that kind of comedy. But yeah,
Trust
gave
me,
it-
they
yeah.
knew even then having a character that stutters was being irreverent. I mean, it was right. I mean, we act like, oh, we just now figured out that, judging, doing those performances is wrong. I mean, it felt wrong then too.
Oh, they knew that was the point. It was supposed to make us feel.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be that really uncomfortable, and you kind of root
Yeah.
for Ken at the end because once he finally finds his
Yeah.
moment where he runs him over with the
great.
slow moving thing that he
So
easily could
Monty
have gotten out of the
Python.
way from. It's so stupid, but when he does that, he loses his
I gonna
thing.
catch me, Ken.
Yeah. And when he's by the way, you're not stuck. He's not stuck. Get the F out of there. Just step out.
Yeah, but
That's the
And
fart.
he didn't
And that,
die
That
either.
stuff hardened. It's like, oh no, I've stepped in it.
yeah.
I'm stuck.
And there's that farce I'm talking about. It's some of it still
Right.
holds up. Some of it feels like, okay.
And if he was that stuck, that thing would have demolished his legs, breaking them in the shins, because they wouldn't have been able to bend when the steamroller went over.
Yeah.
He would not have been able to climb up the side of a plane.
Yeah. And I'm not sure it was
Yes.
worth one more joke of him looking through a window.
Right.
It really wasn't. That is,
Yeah.
there's two things that happen
It's a
at
way
the
to
very
show
end of
that he's
this
still
movie.
alive.
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
is
yeah.
all it is.
Yes, there's two things. When he climbs up onto the wing and looks in the window, it's a joke too far. And
Yeah.
then the afterward copy at the very end, none of it's funny. And I'm like,
no.
how did the great John Cleese not manage to come up with 3 jokes?
I think them
Or
saying, I didn't mind the whole, they had 17 children and opened a leper colony is just a weird thing. That's so nonsense that I kind of liked that one. But the rest of it was stupid. The rest of it was not good.
Mhm. But it is a way for them to say, okay, Michael Palin, obviously sad about killing some dogs, kind of sad about killing an old woman, not at all sad about killing Otto. You kind of, all right, he's still alive, so we kind of let Palin, we let Ken off the hook there. with
Yeah.
that one.
I mean, he got,
Does this
what did it
does his
say?
stutter
went-
kind of?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No,
I was gonna say, does his stutter kind of also make us kind of root for him a little bit? I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know it was
Heck
a rough
yeah.
portrayal to
Oh,
see,
Sure.
but it kind of puts it in a place where it's like, oh, okay, everybody's.
Oh,
looking
I
for
would
him.
absolutely. I was rooting for him the whole
All right.
time. And then and
There
now.
was-
Good.
Yeah.
Was there something total Mandela effect as I was watching this? But I could have sworn that he loses his stutter at the end, but then something else, like I can't hear or something like that. But I'm thinking that must be from another movie.
Oh, what
He
is
loses his stutter at the very end after he
Yes.
kills.
No, we know that, but you're right. Why is that now?
There's
I'm
some
Mandela
movie-
affecting
There's
that.
some movie where somebody gets cured of one thing, and then all of a sudden they can't hear or see, and
It's a
like an
bit
Eric
like
Idle character or something. There's some-
it's a little like when the Twilight Zone episode where the guy can finally see all the books ever made, and then his glasses
right,
break
he
and
broke
he can't
his-
read them.
his glasses get
Yes.
crushed.
It's sort of like that, except it's more like you're right. It's more like he swaps one, inability for another.
right. It's a Mel
Oh,
Brooks thing or
what
a Monty
is
Python thing. Like
It's
I can see.
probably-
Wait, I can't hear.
Oh,
And
and
then
that
something
does feel
else-
like Mel Brooks. That definitely feels like a
Yeah,
Mel
it's
Brooks
something
thing.
like that.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's gonna bug me. Can we do? I have a request that's totally out of.
Sure.
You just reminded me of it. We've never done History of the World Part 1. I would love to do that sometime because
Oh yeah, yeah.
there is so much story around like how that was forbidden fruit, one of these forbidden fruit movies in our house. We couldn't go see it because it was like supposed to be all dirty and whatever, and it was.
Sure.
But there's so much about like when we're choosing comedies, we choose very carefully. Fish Called Wanda was not chosen lightly. We're like, we're gonna take this seriously, and these are Hallmark films, tentpole movies. I feel like that might be one to explore sometime because
All right.
it would be funny. I wouldn't be surprised, is what I'm saying, that if we get halfway through that one and find out there's a scene in there exactly the way you're describing it. Like
Right.
that might be the movie it came from.
Is that the most sackiest Mel Brooks film besides which I think we've already seen Spaceball?
Everybody says Blazing Saddles. Everybody wants us to do Blazing Saddles.
No,
For film
not gonna happen.
Oh, I
Not
can't
gonna
do
happen.
it.
Yeah. Everybody,
I could do
everybody
High Anxiety. I feel like we could do for Film Sack.
right.
I think we could do Young Frankenstein.
What
Young
Oh,
Frank
we
would be
need?
good. I
Yeah.
mean, in History of the World as well, and we could even,
I
for a
think History of
later
the World would be
date,
good.
schedule the sequel too. The thing that was.
Didn't we do, Randy? We did the one that's a play now. The Producers, didn't we? The movie with
Oh yeah.
Did we do
that one?
Producers?
I don't think we.
Yes.
I-
Yeah, we
we did
seconded
it
the
too, yeah.
producers. Yeah.
Okay, I remember doing
The
that.
original one, right?
Yeah.
Not the,
Film Sack 253.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, the one with what's his name, Willy Wonka in it.
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. Jeez, what's wrong with my brain? Can only remember
Mel
people's
Brooks
characters.
is going to be really difficult for us because, like, I think A Fish Called Wanda fits in perfectly with this sort of vibe that we're looking for, which is very highly rated, but has some distance to fall with the passage of time, and doesn't have like overtly problematic stuff. Like we could never sit and talk about Blazing Saddles because like there's so much racism and sexism and so forth, like as the subject of the humor. I wouldn't want to do like Robin Hood Men in Tights because it's not that great.
It's terrible.
Right?
I hate Men in Tights. I hate that movie. I just don't think it's funny.
I like how Randy said Men in Tights, like got high in the middle.
Men in Tights.
Like Mennonites, but Men in Tights.
Don't you feel like Young Frankenstein might fit the bill?
Young Frankenstein would be perfect.
Yeah, I like it.
It kind of is.
That would be a great choice too.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like it wants to be dramatic occasionally, and the comedy is so low.
It's a genre. It's a genre
nice
movie.
Tribute to Terry Garr, who we lost last year, and
Yeah.
Always happy to talk about her. I love her.
yeah.
I like it. So who knows, people at home? We may, may get there. We don't know.
If we
What do
get
you think about-
350 new Patreon signups, but
we got news on that later.
Yeah, we got news on how the electric state's coming, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So John Cleese's wife, portrayed here by Maria Aitken, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I thought she was perfect. I
Stick
thought
she
stick
was really
this up
good,
your
yeah.
bottom.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
it's a tough role to play, being so apathetic and in your own little world and
Yes.
kind of despicable. And she also got a BAFTA nominee for that one, but
Right.
She
lost
deserved
to well, I guess she was supporting. Jamie Lee Curtis was nominated for leading role. Basically everybody in this film was nominated for a BAFTA.
Yeah,
That
it was a big
yeah.
whoop,
Yeah.
man. This thing really
was,
took the
yeah.
world by storm, and it was like a big thing. And it was for Cleese, it was a big confirmation that his idea, he'd been working on it for 4 years, according to interviews. They worked on this, and no studio would touch it. They're just like, this is not mainstream enough. It's not going to work here in the States. This isn't going to work. And he just pushed and pushed and pushed, and finally convinced him to do it. And he was freaking right. Like, it was a big hit. People flooded to see it. They laughed their heads off. They bought it like crazy on video. I did, and a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Dunaway did for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
And we,
She's,
it was great.
She's the mother of Jack
Portia?
Davenport.
Oh.
No, in real life, Maria Aitken is the mother of Jack Davenport, who is one of the major dudes in the Pirates of the Caribbean series. James Norrington.
Oh,
If you see a photo of him, you recognize him. He was also in the Talent Mr. Ripley.
oh, he's
and
the
Kingsman.
British officer in the Pirates.
Yes, in the Pirates movie.
Oh,
Yep.
he's good in that. That's great.
He is good in that. Yeah, so
That's a cool
it's funny that
legacy.
we see, his and Peter Smith Kingsley
Yes.
in the Talent Mr. Ripley.
She seems like somebody who would be somebody's mother in Harry Potter. Aunt Petunia or something in a different era. She could have been a great sort of Potter support character. She's still around. She's in her 80s somewhere, hanging out.
Still around, yeah.
Her and Cleese.
I didn't remember anything about Cynthia Cleese, Portia, from this movie. I watched it and I was like, I don't remember her character at all.
His actual
Yeah.
daughter. Yeah. I remember it a little bit. I remember the the line where she says, "Oh, do shut up, Portia." For whatever reason, that's like burned into me.
Do shut up.
Yeah, there's something about that that's very familiar. But
Yeah, and that's his daughter with what's her face from Fawlty Towers, Connie Booth.
Connie Booth, yeah, who, by the way, is not British. She's from Minnesota.
American. Yeah.
What? Really?
And it never, when I learned that, I just about didn't know what to do with myself because she plays so British on Fawlty Towers.
She totally does. Yeah.
It's just shocking to me. And that voice.
Fun little,
and
fun little film set connection. Cynthia Cleese. Her name's Cynthia Cleese?
I think so. Yeah.
Cynthia Cleese married the writer Ed Solomon, the guy who's written so many film sack movies.
Oh, no way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wrote like
what?
Bill and Ted's and all the Bill and Ted's and Super Mario Brothers, and he wrote Men in Black, and he wrote Charlie's Angels, the movie.
Wow.
He's getting around.
Yeah.
Well, good job, Cynthia. You tied your wagon to the right horse or something.
That's right. And this is something that I didn't know until I was going through the Wikipedia and reading all this stuff. But the little old lady was Finn Raziel from Willow.
What?
We got squashed. Yeah, yeah. Remember her?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
I didn't know that until this week when I was doing
talking
this. I was like, what?
Yeah.
The sorceress from Willow.
We're talking about Patricia Hayes.
Wow.
She I would never know that if I didn't look it up.
Yeah, I had no clue because it's totally different vibe.
Yeah.
So meek and gentle here.
Patricia Hayes seems like the person having the most fun in this movie because all she's got to do is walk the dogs and look outraged. That's all she has to do.
When her last and final dog got squashed by the big thing, she was walking around looking
big,
like
big block, and she's pulling the leash and looking on all sides of it.
Yeah, that was great. All of that, and then when she finally croaks of a heart attack, the Palin's laugh while everyone's looking. That really got me, dude. That really got me. He was great.
Can you believe this is only our second Michael Palin film on Film Sack?
I mean, unless we do Monty Python stuff, it's hard to. I guess we did Time Bandits, so he was in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I'm just surprised. Like, he's in a lot of middling movies, and we just haven't seen them.
Wow, fruit. I need fruit. That's what he said in Time Bandits. He was basically had constipation or something, and they robbed him, kind of Robin Hood style, right? Wasn't that how that all went down?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I need fruit. Anyway, he's so great, dude. I love everything he ever did. So I would watch more movies.
So many things. There were so many light touches to things that they could have went really heavy on, like the fact that Otto was driving around in a big American car on the streets of London and just constantly driving the wrong way. Just these little things in the movie that they didn't hit you over the head with.
Yeah, it's with a movie that is so farcical, you'd think they would, but you're right. They kind of light touched a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
which is good. I appreciate
really
that.
Subtle.
I like Otto's character a lot. It's not. I don't think that's an easy character to do. It's so easy to go completely thuggish American dummy stereotype, stuck in Britain vibe, and instead it's very uniquely him.
Yeah,
and it really, in some ways you could say if that was a poorly portrayed or more stereotypically played role, I don't know that the movie could have survived it. I think it was really important that got nailed.
I like the way the characters are written too. I like that Otto is kind of like what would have been considered a typical American during this time. It's like just picking pop culture, every deep religion and thought, and just make it kind of just
him reading Nietzsche and then
surface,
acting like he knows stuff, but really he doesn't know shit. She has that great line about how gorillas do read philosophy, but they don't know what it means.
Right.
Yeah. That's definitely what Americans were like way back in Now. That's right.
Way back in Now.
Yeah, it cuts a little close to the bone in 2025.
It kind of does. Gun-toting idiots who'll believe anything.
Yeah. A little bit of that going on.
But then we had the superior Jamie Lee Curtis, who's super smart, sophisticated. She's the one that just manipulates this whole thing. And so I don't know. It's just there's a lot of undercurrent things that I really
You almost
dug.
wonder, like, I'm glad there isn't a prequel or anything talking about how these four people all met up.
Yeah.
But I would be curious to see, like, how this whole thing, who was the original mastermind? Was it George? Was it Wendy? Was it, Wanda? Was it Otto? Otto was brought in at the end.
Yeah,
so.
he's later.
I think we're led to believe through the events of the movie that Wanda is playing chess and she has manipulated all these men. We just kind of shown up in the middle of her final manipulation.
Yeah. But she would be the one who would be good at incepting George to make him think that he came up with the idea and bringing Ken into it and everything. By the way, I know we talked about thuggy George Thompson, but I love the fact that he's played by Tom Georgeson.
Oh, what?
Tom George.
Yes.
Yep.
George Thompson is played by.
There's no way that's really not. Yeah, there's no way that wasn't on purpose. Like Cleese is writing the script, going, "Oh, we're just flipping your names around."
It's funny that Tom Georgeson feels like the more made up name between that and George Thompson.
Yeah, it's the real guy. That's amazing. Yeah, there's really there's so much to like. I'm going to tell you about a thing I didn't like, and that was I think the sound work is something's off, and I don't know if I'm ready to
Not
blame
just music, but the sound.
Yeah, it's just got a weird guttural, shitty mic problem, and I don't know if it's the Prime Video transfer. Like we always ask this question. I don't think so. I think this is what it was, but we just didn't have the taste for it yet, and that's some of that stuff is. Whew. It's bad.
It's just a sign of this particular movie, I think.
I guess so.
Just the budget they had and the sound design they went with.
Must have been
not great.
It must have been just that, because there were other movies of that era that sounded great. So I don't know.
Oh yeah. There's plenty of movies out there that sounded great. We had the technology. They just didn't choose to employ it here. It just wasn't high up on the budget list.
No, not
which
great.
is fine, because I was here for the Kevin Kline one-liner, Otto being stupid, chasing down John Cleese's character, and apologizing to him at gunpoint.
You got plenty of that. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. And they do it again. I'm sorry.
And just his whole his whole hatred of the proper British. Oh, you British, you think you're so British. Superior.
Yeah. And then he has to change the voice to sound like a proper British guy to fool the person on the phone. And it's really good. Like it's very
really
good.
Yeah.
And I think that there's no Kevin Kline post this movie career without it. You need this movie for him. Right. And now, he's just quietly doing Mr. Fischoeder on Bob's Burgers now, but
staying married for however many million years to Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
Good job.
Can you imagine? Yes. You end up with Phoebe Cates, and you don't just end up with her. All of our big crushes when we were young, one of the biggest film crushes of all time for anybody of any era, and you stayed with her. You're still committed. You're there.
Yes.
Oh, growing old together. She still walks around the pool taking her top off. It's fantastic.
He better begin every day thanking her for staying married to him.
Yeah, right? Like I don't know. I love long-lasting Hollywood marriages. Make me happy.
And they look. You see, at least in those early days when you'd see like them on the red carpet for something back when she was doing movies regularly, he was still doing stuff. They looked happy, and they didn't look. They didn't look like, wow, how is she with him or anything like that.
Yeah,
they looked equal.
Yeah, and you never went, oh boy, well that's not going to last. Like you never felt that way with them. And there's only a few of those around. I feel like It's like
we should treasure them. They're precious.
Yeah, we should like stones that you are trying to steal and put in a thing.
Or precious like this poster that we talk about a lot of times. It's like, oh, why do they have pictures of individuals and then they have the actors' names not in the position over the person's head? And in this one, we have Wanda the fish being prominently displayed.
Jeez,
it's so weird.
It's the most awkward. Yeah.
Can you guys explain what his? So I asked this online. There's a on the poster. Kevin Kline looks like he's wearing weird like hammer.
Yeah, he's
pants.
wearing hammer pants. Yeah, I think that's the jacket. The trench coat that is
because it's so opaque. It's just hard to tell. And so I've had this question since '88. I remember even then going, "What is going on with this guy's pants?"
It's Manfred Jensen.
Yeah, but also this is so not correct on the proportions, and I don't mean I don't just mean the fish, but like Cleese is way taller than these people.
Yeah,
and they all. I mean, Klein's basically the same height. That is not right. It makes it look just weird. That's all.
There's no way Wanda the fish is taller than Jamie Lee Curtis. So, I mean, that's
yeah. But I like how that Wanda the fish looks like something that Terry Gilliam did, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
It's got that airbrushed edge thing to it and all that. That looks like something out of one of his weird shorts.
Do you think anybody looked at this movie poster and said, this looks so dumb? There's like a fish walking around in this movie?
Yeah, like where did that happen?
Oh, great question. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
I definitely think the title of this movie and this poster, which was basically the cover art for the VHS that I probably rented the first time, is something that got me interested. That made me want to watch this film. And then once I watched it, I fell in love with it. So
yeah, and you knew you were in for some kind of heisty.
Yeah,
they're all in a line.
Even though that's only 2 seconds in the very beginning, there's like a heist for like a hot second.
Yeah, that's what my Mandela effect this time around was that there was way more courtroom stuff than there was. I thought there was a lot more. I don't know why. I just pictured him in the wig longer, doing more. I love when he goes
doing more.
He goes Wanda, and then he goes Wanda, and everybody goes, and then he goes, I wonder. It was so well done. Like no one. That's such a dumb joke, and he can pull that shit off. Still, it's great.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, feelings, comments, stuff? Oh, gross! You want to gross me out?
Let's not watch First Creatures.
Yeah, we don't need to do First Creatures. We can avoid that.
I did write down what I thought grossed you out, and it had something to do. Where was it at here? I wrote it down. It had something to do with somebody putting something in their mouth. Was it when they put fish water to his lips? I think he had dipped his finger in the.
Fish water. Yeah, fish tank water is gross. Even if you're eating the fish in there,
even if it's jellyfish.
Yeah, no matter what, that is disgusting. But I also had this feeling of like they controlled the environment, so it didn't bother me too bad. Basically, I have a tie for first, and it's Kevin Kline whiffing his pits, and then her boots, and then his pits again.
The boot thing.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life.
I love the boot thing though. Now I feel like that was probably Kevin Kline.
That's improvisation all the way has to be.
There's trivia that says that she was
able to blow it up enough to where it does inflate.
I would have not thought that was even possible, but the way he gripped it and did it, it was amazing.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of trivia about how she cracked up in all of these scenes. She was terrible on set, trying not to laugh at stuff. And the scene where he's let's call it finishing, and he's making that face.
Oh, that made me mad.
They had to. The reason her head is nowhere shown and they can't show her face at all is because she's losing her shit. She's laughing so hard.
That is great.
That all made me laugh.
That scene, by the way, is the one where my kid got up and left the room permanently.
Yeah. Oh,
I was fine with him watching the whole movie. I wasn't like, it just didn't seem to me going into it like there was something super problematic, but he had had enough. That sex scene, the sex scene is ridiculous. It's absolutely
over the top. It is. Yeah. It's done well to kind of show the juxtaposition of the boring, mundane, clipping your toenails before bed, and two separate beds, and all these things that John Cleese and his wife are dealing with. But but it is the sex is so comically over the top. You can't even really
can't even right now.
You can't take it seriously.
He's bouncing on her like she's a trampoline, and there's no way that there's any sort of penetration happening with that.
Oh, I'm glad you said penetration. It's always a fun word to hear.
He did say penetration in the film.
Had to balance it out with he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. But I was going to say, so the thing that tied with it is one that you can,
two things
you can easily fake this. So I know that it's an effect. He didn't probably do this for real. But the idea that he transferred the locket from his mouth to her mouth, an entire locket full of all the spit and shit that's in your mouth, and you pass that, oh my gosh, that concept is foul, dude. Foul.
And he sits there like with the pendant in his mouth waiting for her to open the door so that he can do that. How long was he sitting there with that thing in his mouth waiting to do that?
Exactly. It's in there stewing for who knows how long. That's disgusting. That is so gross. And there's
did
nothing
enjoy
about
watching-
it that would make you go,
Yeah.
ooh, how sexy. No, it isn't. That's foul.
I did enjoy
That's a true
watching
Bulgarian.
Cleese suck it up.
Oh, that was great.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Like
There's these
spaghetti, like, nope, nope, nope,
Well, it's
nope.
great because he's just making like a face of almost like no face. Like he's just
Yeah.
fast as he can go, and she's like coming down the stairs. That was great. I mean, it was a stupid.
I just wish at that point, his wife, who knows that he's messing around on her, I just wish she would have left him tied up. Like, I think it would have been really, really funny if she hadn't saved him. If she'd just been like, okay, whatever.
Did
just,
she
like,
know at that
left.
point? She didn't know then, though, did she? I don't think she knew.
I
yet.
mean, the
Yeah.
whole
Was that after the
scene,
court, no, that was before the court thing.
Yeah.
right?
I think it
But
was the last straw for sure.
Yeah.
but the whole scene where she comes home early from the opera or whatever, like that's it's played as though she's finding out that shenanigans are going on. Like
Was
the
she-
way she speaks to Otto, like he's such a dummy.
I don't know. I feel like she believes that Otto is this dumb CIA American, dude.
Right.
and that
That's
he
what
really
you're
was
saying.
the-
Yes, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, this movie could have had the Mr. Manfred Jensen moment
Yeah.
become her understanding that her husband was messing around on her,
I
Yeah.
just say-
and then she could have been a lot funnier the rest of the movie.
But when she repeated it, I laughed out loud because
yes,
Well, Mr.
yes.
Benford,
she did it perfectly, right? Like she perfectly did it, and I went, "Now that felt like a very Cleese written moment."
Yes.
And
absolutely,
it's funny how you can pick those out, right? Like you can just feel them, and you know when it's his jokes or when it's studio make this into a sappy American thing. You can tell the difference. In fact, if anything, this viewing, that stuff just felt really starkly different to me. So anytime that sax kicked in, I'm like, okay, this is the studio messing around.
Yeah.
there is a trope.
Oh, we
that
got
I wanted to
we got
bring
a
up.
trope. Let's do it. Whoops. There you go.
There is no gay except aggressively gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the
You know,
point,
it's-
right?
It's played for laughs, and
Yeah.
it doesn't go way too far. It does kind of really aggressively gay push the aggressively boundary, but
But he doesn't affect a voice or a mannerism that would be offensive.
Exactly,
those
yeah.
things.
So
Yeah, kind of like
this
that.
is another step in how you can be convinced that Otto is able to actually manage himself in these situations, because he does have this ability to make people uncomfortable to the point that he can get away with just about anything. So that's what he does there. That's what he does with the wife. And he just kind of, just makes everybody so uncomfortable
Right.
that he gets away with it.
well, he's the jerk ass. That's a trope.
Jerk
the
ass.
jerk ass trope.
Asshole.
Hold on, is it really?
And-
it's
and
called jerk ass.
He's a jerk ass. He's a jerk ass with a berserk button. There's another trope, right? He actually has several berserk buttons, but the main one is calling him stupid.
What does it mean when they call it that trope jerk ass? What are they? Is that evoking something? I don't know where that's coming from. It's just other than it means he's a jerk, right? Like
Ass.
Right, an obnoxious character who is able to to get through a movie by being obnoxious somehow. Like
Right.
we don't just like jerk asses don't just fall over and die early on. They for some reason people put up with their crap.
they persist. They're the stiflers of the movie. Like I really like that. Jerk ass is great. I want to use it more. That's good.
Well, yeah, and then the opposite is the butt monkey, right? So both Palin and Cleese are playing butt monkeys. They're just constantly suffering from the things transpiring around them.
Yeah. Poor Palin. Palin's just like it's such a wholly unique character because no one has a henchman, driver, backup, part of the heist group that's this kind of sweethearted, I love fish, stuttering man. Like it's such an odd the whole characterization. I don't know who thought of this. Maybe it was Cleese, maybe it was Palin, maybe it was everybody together. That's the other thing Cleese does a lot in these interviews. He's like, people want to give me credit for writing this. A lot of this was written in real time by a lot of really great improv. And Jamie Lee deserves credit, and Kevin Kline deserves credit. And, they're all co-writers. We just can't put that in the, it doesn't work in the credits or whatever, legally or, however it works with their contracts. But yeah, you can tell those guys were kind of working off of each other and making each other laugh in real time. And I'd love to see some bloopers. I'm sure they're out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But those would probably bring a smile to
I'll
my
have to
face.
check. I have the DVD. I'll have to see if there's any. I'm sure there's a great director's commentary. I hope there's a great director's commentary on there.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
That would be worth listening to for sure.
Yeah, because I don't think that dude got enough credit. Like in my head back in the day, it was
No,
like, oh, this
no.
is just John Cleese and Michael Palin and everybody else is along for the ride. It turns out that director, co-writer guy was a huge deal. And it's just funny how we are. We don't care. We just like, well, who's the star? Okay, well, he did it then. But that guy didn't get enough credit. I think he directed the whole thing with a cane too, because I saw some pictures of him on set, and he's just like hobbling around on a cane the whole production.
Interesting.
Yeah, guy needs some credit. Give that guy cred.
I like thinking that he directed it with a cane. Like I'm just picturing
He's pointing.
pointing his cane at people. Saying, that's going to be your blocking right there. You get this camera.
That'd
He
be
hooks
great.
the camera.
I love it. I like director quirks in general.
Yeah.
It'd be great if, like, I don't know, what do you think? If Tarantino had something to direct people with, would it be a foot on a stick, like holding it out there?
He just points his feet at them.
Oh, that's
I
it.
want you to walk over here, and then all right, here's your blocking point.
Yeah.
But he's standing in his chair and he's just pointing with his foot.
Yeah. Hey, Uma, come here. Point at this with your other foot. I need 3 feet in this shot. Yeah, get in there. All right. Well, any other thoughts? And we can do clips if not. You want to do some clips?
Let's do clips.
Okay. I can do clips. I have some here. Let's start with this one. This is at the very beginning, and it's Ken. I think it's the first words of the movie.
Hello, Wanda.
I think that's the first spoken.
Oh yeah.
And then it gets into that cheese music I hate.
Yeah,
And he doesn't-
no, it gets into the cheese music right before that as they're like introducing all the characters in the opening credits, and then they do the fish tank and bling bling bling.
Yeah.
bling, bling, bling,
But
and
it's
then-
so rebellious to then have this long credit sequence of the beautiful fish shot in beautiful ways,
Yeah,
swimming and
right.
stuff, and then later have Otto eat those fish right in front of us. What that is Monty Python shit going on, you know?
That's right.
Subversive.
Oh, another example of the title character not living through the film too.
Oh yeah, good
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. never would have thought of that, but you're absolutely right. All right, George needs a weapons man.
George needs a weapons man, eh?
Yeah. See, you see what I'm saying about the audio? Listen to that again.
George needs a weapons man, eh?
It's just like
Yeah.
Yeah,
crunchy and shitty.
can.
It's a little small ADR booth.
It was
right there.
it was captured on set, and that was
Yeah,
all they
exactly.
could do with it.
I don't know why I didn't at the time. It seemed fine, but I don't know. We have discerning ears now. All right, want some tea?
Oh, no. Would you like some tea?
I like how he's always feigning like his life was
Yeah.
worth.
I won. I
Yeah,
won the case.
yeah. I won the case. You just ignore him.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
terrible, but great.
This is the first moment I've had to myself.
There's a scene right before the robbery. John Cleese is definitely not at the robbery, but there's a voice yell that I swear he did on set to use for the scene. So you tell me if you think this sounds like John Cleese. This is right before they blow the place up and start stealing the jewels. Early on. All right, so here you go. That's totally him, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. That really sounds like him.
It does sound like him.
I think it's him. I think they used it. That's fine. And it's fine that they did. Here's a gross kissing noise. All right. That's gross.
Oh, I caught
yummy.
that one too.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
sweaty.
There's like a lot of mustache in that one. So, here's the best use of the a-hole.
Asshole!
It's a hole. Yeah.
Goes down the hole.
So good.
He had a way of not. It's like he doesn't actually mean it. He's a psychopath.
Right.
That's the point, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's a
Yeah,
psychopath.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's all,
absolutely.
I just love that about him. All right,
Yeah.
Ken's pet.
Ken's pet.
Yeah. There's a little bit of that. And Jamie Lee Curtis getting loud.
Speak it!
Okay, speak it.
Speak it!
It's pretty gnarly, right?
Speak it!
Speak it.
Jeez.
Let's see. There's another one.
Where do you move it, Ken?
Okay. Gosh dang.
Wow. Angry acting.
Yeah. Who knew we'd get it from her?
a lot of angry acting in this movie.
Yeah.
Like you could have played 30 minutes of clips of angry acting. This is how you get comedy in this movie.
That's right. Here is some stopping stuttering.
I don't know where it is. There's a key. I don't know what it's for. It's in the...
It's after she kissed him, right? Was that the deal?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So Ken's You either kill somebody to lose your stutter, or you get kissed by Jamie Lee Curtis to lose your stutter.
She's got like magic kiss mouth.
Yep.
Yeah. Magic kiss mouth.
Or
yep.
or it's like sort of like a radioactive spider bite, because she's got the spit of George and Otto and Archie before she kisses Ken and like combines a Voltron effect in his mouth.
Oh
Voltron
gosh,
effect.
dang it. That's so
Scott's gonna love that.
What gross got out the most?
Yeah, what grossed me out on the episode. That's disgusting, but also accurate. All right, here is this is the scene that I feel like I've memorized for whatever reason. It's with the daughter.
Oh, it's too big. No, it isn't, Portia.
It is. It's enormous.
No, it isn't.
Oh, please, Mother.
No, absolutely not.
I'm so miserable and you just don't care.
Do shut up, Portia.
I don't know why that's just it's so memorized. I don't know why it's so memorized. I honestly don't remember. I may have like clipped something out on like a tape player or something. I don't know what I did. Because hearing that, I could say it out loud while it was playing. It's so weird. Anyway, wasting old ladies isn't nice, and let's hear Otto tell us.
Wasting old ladies isn't nice.
It's true. It's true.
Is it nice?
I wrote gross here.
I heard a friend that wants to change his plea and his instructions to his legal representative.
And it's John Cleese all buried in her chest. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, gross. Yeah.
I mean, she's beautiful, but watching him do that, I can't do it.
Yeah.
If they did this now, let's recreate this scene. Let's get them together. They're both working.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It'd be fine. All right, what's this? Oh, this is this is Otto again.
I'm Harvey Manfred-Jensen.
He's starting to notice that he sounds, if you didn't know that was him.
I'm Harvey Manfred-Jensen.
That's young Steve Martin in a lot of ways.
Oh, interesting.
I can hear it. Yeah.
All right, now I got to bring it up. I wrote the thing down and I thought, no, this is not applicable. But did anybody else spend this whole movie thinking, gosh, Kevin Kline reminds me of John Larroquette?
Oh, a little bit, sure.
Oh, wow.
Mannerisms wise, yeah. Like early Night Court, 80s Night Court, John Larroquette.
Yeah. Like both the sound and the action.
Yeah, I think so. I also think he can rock that mustache pretty well. I think it'll actually look good on him.
Really can.
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was a terrible mustache. I think it's supposed to be a terrible mustache.
I don't know. I think it worked.
No.
Which makes it terrific.
Maybe
I approve of the mustache.
He did have the weird
Mustaches
little
are back, baby.
It wasn't quite a soul patch, but he had a little something down there too. I think that helped balance it out. So it worked pretty good. Here's another one. It's him again.
I'm here because I'm bored.
That sounds like
that's what
Steve Martin.
I'm here because I'm bored.
Picture now. Close your eyes and picture Steve Martin. Now play
Steve
it.
Martin.
I'm here because I'm bored.
It sounds like him.
Yeah, totally does.
Weird. Totally deranged.
Are you totally deranged?
Deranged. Sorry.
Deranged.
I also think this is an amazing point.
Apes don't read philosophy.
Yes, they do, Otto. They just don't understand it.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great line. Great yell from Klein. All right. What's this one? Oh, when people tell me the earth is flat.
Bullshit! You're lying!
Yeah. That's what I do. Flat earthers come at me. Something about a fish.
It's fish!
Oh.
Well,
it goes great with fish.
Yeah, it goes
what
well
goes
with
great with
chips.
chips?
The chip.
Oh, we said chips. Yep.
Yeah.
Fish.
Terrible noise. This is a horrible noise. When someone has to breathe in.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, when he's got the fries in his nose, and he sticks an apple in his mouth,
and he couldn't breathe.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Awful.
I
When
was feeling that whole scene. I was feeling it.
That's why Palin should have won something more than he did. Here's him wanting the key.
Where's the key?
Yeah, where's the key?
Ken.
Jeez.
All-time moment from the wife.
You can stick this marriage right in your bottom.
Yeah, put it right in there.
Bottom.
Another line that it gets burned in. The courtroom slap. Jeez.
Wow, the echo in that courtroom.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's good.
And you're right about them using they just straight recorded everything on set.
I love that she barges back in there just to smack him and leave.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Say something in Russian.
Say something in Russian.
No.
No.
Some Palin sounds. All right. And then I don't know what this is.
You spineless bimbo.
Oh yeah, he called a dude that. What did he call that?
Yeah.
They called Cleese that.
Yeah, that's when Cleese
Stephen
puts
Fry,
the gun.
wasn't it? It was the little cameo of Stephen Fry at the airport.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Stephen Fry showed up at the airport. That was neat.
Oh, shit! I blinked and missed that.
Did you notice him?
No.
Yeah. It was fast. They kind of shot him from the side a little bit.
He's the guy. I mean, basically, he gets Otto gets a plane ticket from him.
Oh, that. I don't know why I didn't notice that. I never noticed that, and I know who Stephen Fry is. I just never. That's never hit me.
Super young there too.
Super young. Yeah.
Yeah, they all were. All these people in their 80s now. It's weird, man. Freaking weird. All right, whooped your. Here's the full version of the clip I played at the top.
They whooped your hide real good.
Real good. He'd kept his composure for most of the movie, but then he just got down and dirty, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Nothing
That was
better.
yeah. Go ahead.
Nothing better than hearing somebody that you have always heard with an English accent take on an American accent and do it so over the top like that.
Yep.
It's magic.
It's magical indeed. All right, what is not magical is the final music. It's like the start of a sitcom.
No way.
It's terrible.
You pulled that off of Mannequin, didn't you? Didn't you pull that from the movie Mannequin?
It sure feels like it.
I hate it, but it's undeniably appropriate.
You hate it.
If you're over a certain age, it makes you feel something. I don't know how to explain it.
It does. It eats right in.
And not something good either.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's definitely a feeling. It's definitely a feeling, right? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it puts you in a place. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Like this does. It's a Film Sack checklist. For the guy that keeps emailing me, it's not the same guy, but people that email and say, where's that from? I know that sound. Go watch Mission Impossible 1, and there's a scene where Tom Cruise lands on the front of a car in a tunnel. That's what I took that from. So
it's a train, right?
Yeah,
It's
a train, not car. Yeah, you're right. Something in the train,
truck
right?
train. There's a truck on that train, though.
Yeah. I mean, the fart at the end is not in the movie, but the rest of it's not.
Oh, damn it. I was going to listen for it.
Yeah, always listen for the fart. All right, your Film Sack checklist this week goes like this. Wish Cleese could do more stuff like this still. Check. I really do. The states should start using burgled again in regular conversation. Check.
Oh, burgled.
And Cleese is weirdly buff. Check. Star Trek Connections. Got to be somebody. Got to be.
Nope.
Nobody.
Once again, small
Jeffrey-
cast. It's
Palmer
over in
never did
England.
anything?
No.
Seems like he'd be perfect. He's a Doctor Who guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked so hard. I looked through producers. I looked through stunt people. So I decided to make it weird, and so I've got 3 weird ones for you.
All right.
Michael Palin was in so many things with Eric Idle.
Yeah.
And Eric Idle was in Hercules Zero to Hero with Michael Dorn.
Hey.
John
First of all,
Cleese.
I didn't know. Poor Michael
John
Dorn.
Cleese was in The Naked Wanderer with Natasha Liu Bordizzo, who was in Wish Dragon with John Cho. Now, see, so I thought, I got Michael Palin, Michael Dorn, John Cleese, John Cho. This is going really well. I could not find another one, so I had to make them rhyme. For the third one, I had to make them rhyme.
Okay.
It's Kevin Kline, who was in A Prairie Home Companion with Punavith Coy, who was in A Wrinkle in Time with Chris Pine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Captain Kirk,
done.
of course. That's great. Well done. Actually, I like that. Rhyming. If you can't find the connection, rhyme it.
It is an applicable substitute. Yes.
I agree. All right. That's your alternate titles. Your Star Trek connections. Now it's time for the soundtrack grade, which I would give an EEAH for 88 as hell. EEAH. Social media post is next. This is where you guys in 280 characters? 280 characters. I don't know who Katie is in this case, but anyway, 280 of those or less to describe this thing. And we're going to start this week with Randy.
A Fish Called Wanda. I am just a working man with a difficult job to do. I go to my job at Heathrow and I clean up runway 2. Today, I found the cement-covered body of a yuppie with a terrible mustache and a stomach full of guppies.
Oh man, that was really good. Man, your poem's been killing
wasn't
it.
sure on the yuppies until you sold it with guppies. So well done.
Yeah. You hear yuppie and you go, let's see how this goes. And then you did it. You nailed it. Nailed the landing.
Pulled it off.
All right. Well done. Also, now after him, we do Mr. Brian Dunaway, please.
A fish called Wanda, like a little crotch perfume spritz before your hot date with John Cleese. Disappointed. Hashtag the fish dies in the end.
Yeah, it does.
And she sprays it in her mouth too. After, like, she perfumes her whole body, crotch, and then sprays some in her mouth. I don't know what kind of magical substance that is that works for everything.
Yeah, but let's get it back on the market, whatever that was. It's probably killing the ozone layer. Finally, Brian Ibbett.
A fish called Wanda. Let me correct you on a couple things, okay? Tide Pods are not food. The most recent solar eclipse was not a government distraction so they could replace the sun. And there's not a Jewish space laser. Those are all mistakes, Otto. I looked them up. Hashtag everybody does it in America.
Yeah, they do.
Dude,
every damn
Jewish
one of them.
space laser never gets old.
Nope.
It never gets old.
I can't let go of that. I'm going to say that 40 years from now. I hope someone knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Well done. That was great. Now, the alternate titles just handed to me. This was almost called, this is not the right file. Hold on. There it is. Alternate titles were almost called Monty Python and the Poor Sound Mixing, but they thought that was maybe a little on the nose. Then it was almost Monty Python and the 1988 music that does not hold up. So there's that.
Yeah.
Voicemails. Time for a voicemail from Luke in Boulder. Sent this into voicecast.app/filmsack, and he has this to say about ranking Marvel Spider spinoffs.
Hey, Sackers, it's Luke in Boulder, and y'all were stack ranking your Spider-Verse adjacent movies like Morbius and the Venoms and Madam Web, and you were stack ranking them with Kraven, and you said this, and then Venom 1, and then Venom 2. Nobody even ever mentioned Venom 3, which came out on Netflix a week before Kraven the Hunter did. So throw that one on the list. Love the show, though.
Okay, two things. One, I didn't realize that was the juxtaposition of those two movies. I thought it came out after. I didn't know it came out before.
Right at the same time. I think it was pretty close. I thought Venom 3 came out
Venom
first,
3
but
was
it
a
was
few
very
months.
close.
It was a few months, I thought. Yeah.
Okay, but yes, it deserves to be in
Point
there.
taken.
Yeah, I've my understanding is that 1 and 2 are relatively well regarded. I think they're okay. I liked them. I haven't seen 3.
You saw interesting.
You saw 3, right?
I think 3 is on par with. I did. We saw that one in theaters. I think 3 is on par with 1 and 2. I think that they're all
fine.
Good for what they are. Yes, they're fine. Perfect.
That's movies.
That's like if there was a star rating for fine, that's exactly what those movies get. Fine.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
They are indeed a movie.
And I'm okay with fine sometimes. You know? If these were all the problem is they can't just be fine with the budgets they're putting on these things, and they can't.
No, you can't afford a movie to just be fine when you spend that much money on it.
But as somebody who just like catches shit on streaming, it's perfectly suitable. It's all right.
Yeah.
And for the show, certainly we enjoy them. Thank you, Luke and Boulder. We also got a text from using that same service, voicecast.app/filmsack. JW says, was listening to, I believe, the Clash of the Titans when you were all talking about walking out of theaters and refunds. It reminds me of the only 2 times I've walked out of a movie. We were watching John Q. We lasted 10 minutes. And looking back, I wish I'd stayed, but
John Q, not for you.
I don't think I've seen anything around that. I don't know what John Q is.
Dennis Quaid, right? John Q. Hold on a second.
Is it older?
Unless I'm thinking of something different.
I don't know.
Oh no, this is way more recent. Okay, John Q. 2002, Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the deal? What's
the deal?
Hold on, Robert Duvall,
John Q.
A man, Denzel is the title
John Q.
character,
Public.
a man who takes a hospital emergency room hostage in order for his son to receive a heart transplant. Oh, I did see this.
Yeah. I see this, and I thought it was fine.
You know what? It's reviewed really well. People like it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I can certainly understand how you could walk out of it too, though. I mean,
there's no James Bond equipment in this film at all.
Yeah.
Wild cast. You got
It's a joke there.
no, that was good. Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall's amazing.
Yeah.
You got James Woods. You got your Anne Heche before she got a little wild. Yeah.
It definitely goes for the low hanging fruit, right? I mean, it's a little preachy. I get it. but it's fine. Yeah,
Sure,
I understand how you would walk out of it too.
Slam
Though.
on the American medical system, I'm sure. And,
yeah. Why not?
This is such an evergreen subject. It's one of those things that if it hasn't been posted lately in a movie subreddit, you can just ask, "What movie did you walk out of?" and everyone will jump all over it every time. It can be a discussion every day.
Yeah.
And the most recent one I saw just this morning, it was on Reddit. It's one of the movie Reddits, and someone said, "What movie did you walk out of?" Mine was Showgirls, and I was like, "Shut up!"
All right, how do you watch what kind of Showgirls? Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you not know what you were in for with Showgirls?
I mean, Showgirls is bad, right? It's not good.
Oh, it's terrible.
But it says so on the label. Like you don't like. Oh, I'm sure this Elizabeth Berkley. This is the perfect vehicle for her to transfer from her amazing acting in Saved by the Bell to the big screen.
I think a lot of us were just disappointed that it was a Verhoeven movie and didn't feel like a Verhoeven movie. Felt like somebody else made this thing.
Look, I walked in a thin red line with all expectations with a list of great actors, and I walked right the F out because that was disappointing.
Not into it. You didn't like that one, eh? I
didn't like the tour that we had. It was like, we're just going to tour around, just going to kind of.
It's weird that way. Yeah, it's a weird movie. I'm not going to. I don't think it's bad. It's considered good, but it's so up its own. Yeah. It's so up its own butt, that movie.
Yeah,
just like navel gazy art, too arty for arts. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Too arty for the farties.
Too arty for the farty. It's not a military movie like you think you're going to get. It's very weird. I'm trying to think. The only movie I ever walked out of was A Fine Mess with Ted Danson and Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel, yeah.
That movie sucked ass.
I haven't even seen it. I just walked out on it, even not having seen it.
Yeah. Well, in my head, I just walked out on it just then.
Exactly, I just walked out.
I was in high school. It was 1986, and I remember it just being so freaking bad. It's got this great cast. There's good actors in it. Like, I don't know what happened there. What a piece of shit. Yeah. Oh, it's 4.7 on IMDb. That's about what it should be. It's really bad.
Wow, that seems generous.
It seems a little generous, but also, like, again, there
should be a 4.5 on Rotten Tomatoes, not on IMDb.
This was one of those things where it's like, here's some farce for you. You should enjoy this. You'd like these actors. Nope. That was poop. Yeah. Poopy poop. Well, thank you, JW. We appreciate it. Please keep these coming. Now, last week, we put out a little challenge. We said if we hit 6 new patrons in the week between episodes, that we would absolutely slate in The Electric State on Netflix and watch it, pretty quick here. Well, you guys over-delivered. We ended up with 10 of you, and I want to mention those names real quick. Scott Boyles, Warren, Tyler Big T, Neil Morrow, Fegan, Tim Christie, Eric Baston, That Charlie Dude, David Simons, and Metal Pony. It's a great name.
And I just want to say, I was on hold waiting in the wings. If we only got 5, I was going to make a new account.
Yeah,
and subscribe. Like,
just to make it happen.
This.
Yeah, we want to see it. So, there's some chance that we would have done this no matter what down the road, but you guys forced it. It's happening.
Don't tell them that. They'll pull their funding.
Yeah, but we're going to do it now, and we're going to make it quick. It is our next movie, The Electric State, next week. Here on Film Sack. Yes, that's right. Do your homework. It's available on Netflix. It's a $350 million bomb and available for all to see.
I mean, it's got to be good. It's got like so many Marvel people in it. Chris Pratt and Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie.
Woody Harrelson's in it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito.
His job, he's in everything now, and that's just his deal.
He is in everything, yeah.
He's got like
Russos. 3... I mean, come on, how can this be bad?
Yeah, it turns out it's shitty. So we're going to watch it.
Be bad?
I mean, maybe it's not. I'm prepared to go in and go, oh, everyone said this was the worst thing they've ever seen, and I'm actually kind of enjoying this. So I'm prepared. I'm prepared for whatever, I'm
glad. Yeah, let's get I think we just go in with our expectations very low, and low bar for them to jump over.
Yeah. George Costanza's in it. He voices a robot. That's cool, right?
Oh, great.
Yeah. You guys ready for
the voice? Is an importer-exporter robot.
If this robot isn't running through a battlefield screaming Vandalay Industries, then we have done it wrong.
Yeah, right.
Way to go, Brusso. It's probably one of the brothers that did it. Anyway, that'll be next week. The Electric State, Netflix, catch it, be there, be square. All right, filmsack.com is our website. You'll find everything there, ways to contact us, all the other fun stuff. Our Patreon, again, patreon.com/filmsack. You want no commercials ever? You want a cool host special I just put up about bottle movies, or what I would prefer to call chamber dramas.
Chamber dramas.
Yeah, I think bottle movies is confusing because it is. The contrast with bottle episodes on TV, and they're not the same.
Plus, I think you're only talking about Bottle Rocket.
Yeah, right. My whole episode is about Bottle Rocket. That's the entire thing. Yeah. Love that movie. No, it's an interesting thing that I find myself drawn to every time. If it's a movie with a bunch of people trapped in a place and they have to deal with each other, I'm like automatically in, and I don't know why that is, but I get into it a bit. We talk about examples of it, Hateful Eight, The Thing, many others. If that sounds interesting to you and you want to hear that, you're only going to get it this way. It's the only way you get these host specials is by joining our Patreon. You get special monthly art in the mail, no pre-show, or sorry, you do get pre-show every week. That would be, hey, I took it away and gave it right back to you.
Yeah. Right. Sign up so you don't have to hear the pre-show.
That's right.
Make people appreciate even more.
That's right.
Yoink.
That's right. And then what else? No commercials or ads, any of that stuff. It's just a fun place to be. So go sign up like these 10 fabulous folks did at patreon.com/filmsack. That'll do it for us. For me, for Brian, and for Randy.
Do not call me stupid.
We'll see you next time.
Frog in pants. How's that for a visual? Find more amazing at frogpants.com.
It's fish!
Yeah.